Hi. I haven't picked up the camera in a couple days. I've just been like dragging, you know? You ever have those days? I'm having those days. But I came in here to show you this. Look at this. Can you see it? The very tinge of color. I have cherry tomatoes, plural, because there's some in this row behind me, blushing, which means it's about to go down. The craziness, like it never stopped being crazy, but now I'll have harvesting and planting at the same time more often. But that is exciting. Tomatoes are my very favorite thing that I look forward to every summer because there's just nothing like homegrown tomatoes. And this week I am kicking off my CSA. So I have like 10 people signed up for my CSA, which honestly is a great amount. It's not enough to be stressful. I know I can manage it. It's my first year. But what I am stressing out about is that like I have lots of salad. I'm going to do a salad box this week. But next week I might not have anything. You know, it'll be spotty in the beginning. But then it'll pick up full-fledged once the summer stuff starts going. Well, it's June 5th and I am just now planting zinnias. That's how far behind I am. I am so far behind on my flower crop. Other than dahlias, and granted I did plant like 1,300 dahlias, so I am gonna have flowers, but there's no variety so far, other than different varieties of dahlias. Because a lot of the first crops that I planted in here, they were really small starts, so most of them were started in a 3/4 inch soil block. And so when I put them in there and then it got 95 degrees and even hotter on this black landscape fabric, it toasted more than half of them. So we're just gonna wipe that slate clean. I'll just fill in the holes with other things. I stuck some gladiola I stuck some gladiola bulbs in the holes with dead flowers in them. So they will have something. It's just not going to be what it was supposed to be. But I am on to zinnias. The first tray I have is Oklahoma mix. I like the little ones to mix in bouquets because they're small and you can tuck a few in. And plus the plant makes a million. So I'm going to get to planting this whole row, which is about 75 feet or a little less than 75. Technically, I think it's like 73, but we'll say 75. So this 75-foot row will be all the zinnias. Probably not all the zinnias. I'm probably going to do 2 rows of zinnias. They look kind of sad because they've been in this plug too long. But zinnias are usually really hardy, so I think that they'll bounce back. I'm just putting this straight into our native soil. Zinnias actually don't like to be fertilized, so I'm not going to top with compost or anything. Alright, you can help me finish out this row. Get on that side. Do not. Alright, I'm gonna make the hole and you put the plant in. Want to? Does anyone recognize this boy? I gave him a haircut and look how different he looks. He looks so grown up. So I do hunter's haircuts myself. Fun fact, I actually used to do hair. But I like to give the boys a haircut
also, the sun gets in my eyes.
Okay. I like to give him a haircut like bi-monthly. So I cut it really short and then it'll grow out for 3 months and then I'll cut it again because I hate cutting boys' hair. But
I can put that plant in.
Well, you disappeared. Are you gonna help me? The top.
I closed.
It's midday right now. I'm probably getting way too much sun, but it is what it is. This is like crunch time. So I'm working on not getting sidetracked, step one, because I start the day and have big dreams and then I see little stuff. It's like my ADD brain is like, I'll do a little bit of this and a little bit of this and a little bit of this and never complete anything, just a little bit. So that's what I'm trying to fight through right now. I just got done watering the zinnias I transplanted yesterday, as well as like some little dahlias that I saw needed a little water. I've never thought about the weather so much in my life than in the last year, and now I understand why all the old guys just talk about the weather patterns, because when you need it for your daily life, you really notice when you don't have it. So we've been having drought-like conditions lately, which is making watering really difficult because we don't have an irrigation system. We just have sprinklers and a hand hose, and I've just been hand watering. But we are about to get drip, but that's another story for another day. Today I'm working on direct sowing things. So I just burnt holes in the plastic for corn, which likes warm soil temperatures. Everything that I'm planting right now is heat loving. So corn, zinnias, amaranth, celosia, anything else that I can think of to stick in the ground for some flower bouquets. But as you can see behind me, the tomatoes are growing really well. Let me show you. I've been having a hard time remembering to pick the camera up. For one, I'm doing the same thing literally every day, and so in my head I'm like, can I film planting for the 16th day in a row? Like, how boring. Anyway, we set up our trellising system for the tomatoes. So I'm doing a method this year called the Florida weave. I've never done this before, but with how many I have, I figured this was the best and easiest option. You can see behind me, the tomato plant is just held up with these weaving strings. I just have a box of twine and I go down the row and I just weave them. It's really super easy. The problem that we have is that we didn't have enough T-posts, so to finish trellising all the tomatoes, we have to go buy more T-posts, and I will share more about exactly how we do the weave when we get more posts, but it's working out really well, actually. I'm very happy with it. So all I've done so far is just trim the lower leaves off the plant for some airflow, and that's it. That's all I'm gonna do this season. I'm going to trim it, or I'm gonna prune them minimally, because these are just my field tomatoes, pretty hands-off as far as pruning goes. Where I spend all the time pruning is in the tunnel, because you grow them so close together in a hot environment that you really don't want them touching each other too much. So I heavily prune those. Ignore these uneven holes. This bed kind of curves at the very beginning, just from the tractor not going perfectly straight, or us not driving the tractor perfectly straight. But the rest of them aren't straight either, so don't look at those either, but it's fine. I'm going to plant my sweet corn here in the front and the popcorn down at the end, and if I need another row of corn I will, but I can fit a lot of corn. This is a little bit over 50 feet. I think it's like somewhere in the realm of 55 feet long. So a lot of people grow hybrid sweet corn because the hybrids are bred to be sweeter and hold longer off the stalk, but I'm gonna try heirloom sweet corn because seed saving is important to me, and there's no cornfields directly around me this year, and so I think that I will have a good chance of being able to save these seeds and it being true to type. Now, where they could cross-pollinate is a popcorn and a sweet corn, but as long as they have different tasseling times, they're really not gonna cross-pollinate. The sweet corn here first, and I have Who Gets Kissed sweet corn, and I honestly bought that because it had a really cute name. I bought it from High Mowing Seeds, and then from Southern Exposure Seed Exchange I have Buell sweet corn. And I can't remember what it said about that. I think it's supposed to be a sweet heirloom sweet corn, so we will see. So I'm gonna get to planting that right now. I had to get out of the sun for a minute, but I've already strayed from the plan, which happens quite a lot. So I ended up sowing that whole row with sweet corn, because I did. So we're gonna have really good sweet corn, but now I've got to create a whole nother row for popcorn, which actually is gonna work out better. I'm gonna separate them a little bit in hopes to aid in not crossing. I know technically you have to be like a long ways away for corn to not cross-pollinate, but I'm hoping that since it's two different varieties altogether, a popcorn and a sweet corn, a popcorn takes a lot longer to finish, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And so I'm hoping it has different tasseling times, and then that will, you know, clear it up altogether. Hey, I just looked up the Who Gets Kissed sweet corn because I couldn't remember any details about it. And I love to know the fun facts about the varieties that I grow. I always look it up to see what they say. And it says, it was bred for sugary enhanced sweetness, vigor, and disease resistant to rival hybrid corn, and boy does it deliver. This variety was bred through a collaboration. The ears develop over a prolonged period, longer than most corns, which means that you have a longer harvest window to pick. Which is what I'm looking for in a sweet corn, because I will put some away, but we don't really eat that much corn out of season because there's just nothing like corn on the cob. We are a corn on the cob family. But I, for one, want to know that my corn was grown organically and not sprayed with anything, because here in the United States, corn is heavily sprayed. I am in corn country here in Indiana, and I don't know a single farmer around me that does not spray or that grows organically at all in any way, shape, or form. Even if it's the cheater organic, they're not even growing cheater organic. So I prefer my vegetables without poison, and that's hard to find in the Midwest. I'm getting really tired, you guys. Really tired. But so my videos just feel boring because it's like the same thing every day. But we're getting into the exciting time, the almost time to harvest time. I've got almost ripe cherry tomatoes in the tunnel, which means that here soon they start to trickle in at first, and then explosion of cherries, and I'm excited. I wait for tomatoes all year. I think this is where I'm gonna end the video for right now though, because for one, my camera's about to die, and for two, I've really got to get to working because the town that I grew up in every year has a fair the first week of June-ish. And so tonight is the parade and the fair, and I really want to take the kids to that, and so I need to get my jobs done.
Okay.